He was buried alive in popcorn and ate his way out.
Commonwealth, Commonwealth, the former empire, now Commonwealth. Is it relevant? Probably not, but why not give this part a shot? Stay tuned, here comes Uncommonwealth, the podcast.
Welcome to the Uncommonwealth podcast! Yay!
Hey!
I love hanging out with you guys virtually. You smell so much less. Okay, let's get started.
Let's do a couple two truths and a lie.
Here's Adam with two truths and a lie, and sometimes they're all lies.
And I want to go back to Singapore.
Oh.
We've done Singapore before in a very specific way, but now we're gonna start off with two truths and a lie. Facts about Singapore. Okay, so as always, let me read all three before you start commenting. Then you tell me which two are true and which is a lie. Okay, facts about Singapore. Fact 1: the Guinness Book record for the longest human domino chain was set in Singapore on September 30th, 2000. It was formed by 9,234 students and measured 4.2 kilometers. Ooh. Fact 2: in addition to the main island, the nation of Singapore includes 63 additional islands, most of which are uninhabited. And fact 3: Singapore's national anthem is in microtext on the back of its $1,000 note.
He hasn't included a mongoose in any of these, so it's very hard to pick up the lie.
I think it was in microtext on the back of that note.
That could be it. How many islands did you say, Adam?
Additional islands. The main island and then 63 others.
The Mongoose Archipelago.
That sounds like a mystery thriller novel title.
I think the first one is a lie because I didn't listen to it.
It was they have the Guinness Book World Record for the longest human domino chain.
What's
Lie.
a human domino?
Because 902,034 students. So it's dominoes like made out of people.
Do you know the human centipede? It's nothing like that.
It's domino chain.
I think I feel like that's a weird record that could totally have occurred. So I'm going to say that the third one is a lie. The national anthem.
Okay, so you're going with national anthem on the back of that $1,000 note. Pierce, you're going with?
I'm going with human domino chain because I still
domino chain as the lie.
Wait, I just figured it out. There is no $1,000 note. The third one is a lie because it's actually written in microtext on the $100 note.
Okay, and the answer is all true. All true.
Really?
Unbelievable. Very exciting. Very exciting.
So hard.
I know you were on the right track.
Do you guys feel swindled every time Adam does this segment? I just feel like he cheats us out of
Okay.
I feel that happens more often than not.
Okay, round 2. We're gonna stay with Singapore and we're gonna do laws.
Think of the listeners at home trying to figure out which one is true, and then they're just let down.
Think of the children.
I think it's listener in Singapore.
Okay, here we're going to do two truths and a lie. Laws in Singapore. Law 1: feeding birds is a fine of $500. 2: it is a $1,000 fine to masturbate before 9 p.m. And 3: taking the seat directly next to someone on public transportation, if another seat is available, is a $100 fine.
Oh, that's such a good law.
That's
should
a good
be
law,
like that. It should be like that.
Any of those now because of coronavirus, and I'm going to love it. Give yourself space.
Also, Adam, the second one, you said it's illegal to masturbate before 9 p.m. Is that publicly or just in general?
In general, it's a $1,000 fine.
Pretty restrictive law.
I would hope that it's always illegal publicly. That would be my hope.
901, baby, time to rock and roll on the subway train.
How would that be regulated?
As long as you pick the right seat.
That's such a good law. I can 100% see that being an actual law in Singapore.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, like there's a whole empty row and someone just sits beside you. It's like, what are you doing? Like, we don't know, get away from me.
In New York, the law is that if you don't see someone masturbating before 9 p.m. on the streets, at some point, you actually don't live in New York.
You're in the wrong city.
You're
the crazy one.
Yeah, not having gone on the subway to work in like 2 months now, it's been really weird not having seen someone masturbating out in public. That's
why I just walk down my street once a day so that everyone gets that. Just to give them that. just to give them that New York experience.
You're doing your civic duty, Adam.
Yes. Usually I like to do it right around 7 o'clock when they're all out cheering.
They're all clapping.
As long as it's not after 9.
What was the first one?
Feeding birds is a fine of $500.
Yeah.
That sounds real.
I'd buy that. So I think the second one's a lie, the masturbating.
Okay, is that your final answer?
I'm
The
going with
second
number
one's
2.
a lie. It's actually 8 p.m.
Okay, so the answer is feeding birds is a fine of $500 is true.
Yeah.
The other 2 are lies.
Oh.
So so you can sit next to someone on public transport even if there's an open seat?
Yes, even if there's another seat.
Right. I know the platform that I'm running for governor on.
The podcast.
All right. In Canada, in the Yukon, during this little moment in time that we've all been experiencing, they have told people, it's been a big ad campaign, to stay at least 1 caribou or 4 ravens apart from each other.
That's brilliant.
That is the unit of measurement they're using. They don't believe in 6 feet. I guess it didn't translate as interestingly into meters. So 4 ravens or 1 caribou.
Well, that's like, you know how they measure horse height in hands.
In hands.
I think we should change that to caribou.
Well,
Or
it makes sense
ravens.
that it could be something that you could visualize, but I assume there's a range of sizes of caribou.
Absolutely.
So it gives you can always be like, no. Oh, I interpreted it as a baby caribou. That's why I'm right behind you.
Right behind you. I'm right behind
I'm
you.
right behind you.
There's a county in Florida that told everyone to stay at least 1 alligator apart from one another, which I don't know.
Well, an alligator is longer than a caribou, though, right? We've got some inconsistent units of measurements going on here with using wildlife.
It's interesting. So would you say the Yukon was caribou?
The Yukon's caribou
The
and
Yukon's
4
caribou,
ravens.
or ravens. Florida is alligators, and New York is get the f- away from me.
I think
Sorry.
they're rats. Rat kings.
Rats.
No, pigeons instead of ravens in New York.
5 pigeons.
Are there any other countries doing this?
Well, I'd imagine whatever country, to a local sort of animal you got there. How many pandas? 1 panda.
The Yukon. I have a friend in Yellowknife, which is not the Yukon, but it's a
It's up
territory. It's up there, and truly, one of my best friends lives in Yellowknife right now. She's a lawyer, and you don't have to be multiple caribous away from any. You don't have to try to be that many caribous away from anything.
There's just not that many people.
No one there. It's so empty. I mean, she said we FaceTime. I mean, it's just and there's like 1 truck.
It'd be hard to not be near people if you're like the woman, though, because it's like, isn't it like 100 to 1 men to women up there in Alaska and Yukon and stuff?
Is that anywhere where they drill for oil? That's the sort of, it's just the male to female ratio is wildly different.
Yeah. I don't know how to respond to that.
Yeah, you don't want to.
I don't know why that comment looked like it bummed everyone out.
What I want to know is, Pierce, was your whole segment just the caribou raven Utah thing? Was that
I was
it?
hoping it would
that to-
spark an interesting conversation about
no,
what
it has.
animals.
I'm just curious if you had any more, or if there was like, fingers
I definitely
crossed. They
thought
have
it
something
could
to
carry us for 4 minutes. I think the interesting part ended about 12 seconds into the segment, though, when I told you about.
Is this another one of those episodes where you would just hope that everyone else sucks so bad that you still have a shot at MVP?
I think Piers' the big reveal is that he's going to have a shitty printout of a caribou that he's going to hold up in a second.
We were meant to
top of the-
talk about everywhere in the world and what animals were.
Okay.
We just didn't do it.
Oh.
We just no one ran with
Tired.
it. It was
In Ontario, they were like, you got to stand 3 beavers away. That could get misinterpreted. That was meant to be a joke, and I think Pierce got it.
It's the beaver's a vagina. Is that it?
Thank you, Jimmy.
The podcast.
Alrighty, friends. I've got I want to share a fun world record with you. It's a spicy world record. This is hot to trot, ladies and gentlemen. This is a recently set world record, and it is the most amount of ghost peppers eaten in a 2-minute window.
Ghost peppers.
Oh yeah, have you guys heard of ghost peppers?
Are they like ghost shrimp?
No, they're not. So ghost peppers are it's a type of pepper, but it's one of the hottest in the world. So the ghost peppers have a rating of over 1 million Scoville heat units. That's the measurement used to rate the heat intensity of peppers.
Is that a metric measurement?
No, it's like a chemist.
pepper. It's a pepper
So
measurement.
it's literally a pepper specific measurement. So these ghost peppers, they're 400 times hotter than Tabasco. Here, I'll put it in perspective. So something like cayenne is like between 30 and 50,000. That's cayenne. What's another? A habanero is like 150 to 300,000, and we're talking ghost peppers, which are over 1 million.
What's the green stuff that you put on sushi, you think?
Oh, wasabi?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't have that. A jalapeno is only 8,000. So these things are...
Wait, jalapeno's 8,000? And this
jalapeno's 8,000. This is over 1 million. It's insane. So standard pepper spray is like between 2 and 3 million. And
Tabasco's 5,000.
You're not shoving these ghost peppers in your eyes. So
no, I cannot stress how insanely hot these things are.
Okay. How big are they?
They're like, like regular. They're just like a little pepper, regular size.
I think of a pepper like a red pepper or a green pepper.
Oh, no. I don't know how to.
I know what you mean.
Yeah, like a little chili.
Yeah.
So the point, like people go have been hospitalized after eating these things. They're insanely hot. So anyway, so I'm going to give you a bit of backstory now. The current world record holder, and this was set recently. I'm not telling you where from, but he's from one of your 2 countries. He's not Australian, so he's from one of the remaining 2 countries on this podcast. So a bit of history here. May 2017, a competitive eater who was known as the LA Beast, he set the world record. He set the world record by eating 13 ghost peppers.
Wow.
And that this is in 2 minutes. So that equated to 121 grams of the chili, which is he shattered the previous world record of 66. So this is pretty wild. This guy, he didn't go to a hospital or anything, but he had a puffy face, all the stuff. So now the world record was set on February 29 this year. So he did it on a leap year. Pretty impressive, if you ask me.
That makes it so much more impressive.
This fellow called Mike Jack, he had 246 grams. So previous world record was 121. He did 246 in 2 minutes.
What happened to him?
So this guy, if you look at, he had like he's like all his face is like he's red like a beetroot. He's all puffed up. Afterwards, he's not in a good place. But anyway, he set the world record.
He survived.
He survived.
Has anyone ever died from eating
Can
too
you
many?
die? Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if you can die, but people have been hospitalized. Like this is the stuff that they put in pepper spray.
What do they do when you go to the hospital? They just like douse you in like milk?
That's a good point.
Are peppers hot naturally to sort of repel people eating them? Is that sort of is that just a natural defense mechanism?
Well, no, it's a spice, right? I think capsaicin is the spice in this stuff that we're talking about. Pure capsaicin is like 15 million units or whatever. Because this heat rating unit, it's literally just it's the most unscientific unit of measurement. It is. Yeah. This is how they have the unit of measurement. It was developed like 100 years ago by this chemist. Literally what they do is they dilute the pepper in like an alcohol solution, and they just keep diluting it and serving it to a panel of 5 judges who are expert pepper eaters. And when 3 of the 5 can no longer taste
Is
pepper.
It like the Supreme Court? When one of them dies, they have to elect a new
Right. Okay, so now you guys, I want you to know who of you do you think can claim the honor of having this man coming from your country?
He sounds Canadian.
I was going to say, definitely sounds like a Brit.
Australian.
Yep. Oh, he's not Australian. All right. So this fellow he's from London.
Ontario?
London, Ontario. He's from London, Ontario.
You sneaky bastard.
The old switcheroo there. That's what I call that.
We should have known it was a Canadian because I don't think Brits like spicy food.
But yeah, so he set this world record at the Heatwave Hot Sauce Expo, which I'm sure you. But pretty insane. Like as I said, if you guys don't know what a ghost pepper is, like have a Google. But you cannot understate how insanely hot these things are.
That was held at an Expo Center this year, February 29th, as COVID quietly worked its way across.
Yep, this is like a week before the global shutdown, and he's there smashing raw ghost peppers to set a world record.
Imagine if it turned out that COVID started at a attempt for a Guinness record of the most bats eaten.
If you ever get a chance, go to the Nathan's hot dog eating. It's worth it. It's so much fun to watch.
Really?
And they announced the people with the funniest. Like I'll never forget the one guy was into something or something. He was buried alive in popcorn and ate his way out.
The podcast.
I think it's time that we check in with our royals. I mean, they're the entire reason that we're together. What if they're listening? So there's obviously been a lot going on with Meghan and Prince Harry. They recorded a video of Meghan reading a children's book to 1-year-old Archie for his birthday. And this was a huge sensation. It was like the most popular video on Instagram. And they did it for charity. Of course, the internet was all positive reviews. No one said anything negative. There's nothing to talk about.
It sounds like Pierce's segment.
And that's a wrap, guys. Thanks for coming. We'll see you next.
Did any of you see this video?
I haven't. I didn't even hear about it.
No.
What?
I was reading the real news.
Actually, there's some racial issues here. Okay, so Meghan is half black, and that's been a big thing for the royal family and like traditionalists and racists, basically. And so anytime anyone criticizes Meghan, it's becomes a thing about race. But what happened is that overall, so she read this book. The 1-year-old was just like not even turning the pages, just like sitting there. So people were like, "Oh, this was the Meghan show."
1-year-old's essentially a turnip.
But but what happened is a relatively well-known author, she wrote Something Borrowed. Her name is Emily Giffin. She posted without thinking something, just like her reaction that was like super negative. She says, "Adorable child in book, but holy me first. This is the Meghan show. Why didn't she film and let Harry read? And why didn't she take the moment at the end to say, he said daddy? Because that would make it about Harry for a split second. God forbid. Also, you want privacy for your child, so you put out a video of him wearing no pants? Okay." He didn't have pants on, and people were criticizing that.
Wait, was he
like,
Winnie the Poohing it? You just had a little t-shirt on and then bulls
cute.
swinging?
Yeah.
Who cares? Even if it is the Meghan show, so what?
And this was for charity. It's
How much
amazing.
money did they raise? If they raised a lot of money, then it makes it more worthwhile.
Well, how does it? Was it like you'd watch the
That's
video and
true.
then donate? Like, how does it even raise money? They just posted it on Instagram.
Not on their Instagram. They used, I think, the charity's Instagram or something.
So did you have to donate? Like,
No. You
Did the
guys
Queen
didn't watch
weigh
the
in?
video. The Queen hasn't weighed in.
I think the Queen's watched it. She's on her Instagram. Does she? Ever?
She's busy with TikTok.
The podcast.
Well, I don't
Say,
know.
my name is Piers Morton and my segment stunk today. And
This isn't an AA meeting, Pierce. You don't have to.
Sorry about the last segment.
so just cut the first 45 seconds of that.
No, it was fun. It was actually really fun. I enjoyed that.
Adam, just don't.
Just don't. All right. Well, you know what, Pierce? I think we both did equally badly. Maybe me a bit worse.
I think it stunk because of you guys. I just want you to know that. I think I teed it up for a good segment, and
I agree. I got distracted.
I even offered up the alligator thing in Florida. No one bit.
Pun intended.
Pun intended.
I think honestly that was like I think my favorite segment ever.
I'm a bit stunned by all the food eating.
Feel free to not
Segment.
do as well as I did.
Pierce was like, as long as I'm not last, that's all that counts.
Oh, goody.
The podcast.
All right, yeah, we should do the wrap up. I think the MVP is a tie between Piers and Catherine.
I think because it shows perseverance, pushing through. Despite
And
the adversity.
self-awareness and honesty. I think self-awareness is under recognized in the importance of self-awareness.
What was that, Adam? What was your one this time?
Singapore.
Oh, that was good. Yeah, that one was really fun.
Yeah, well, we should probably splice that out and put it with some other good stuff.
Like the Empire, we're almost done. We hope that you've had lots of fun. Was it relevant? Probably not. But thanks for giving this part a shot. Stay tuned for the end of Uncommon Wealth. The podcast.
I love spicy food.
Yeah.
I've had a ghost pepper before. Well, not not
Really?
a full one. I've had part
I
of
have
it.
one.
And
It's just insane. Like imagine the hottest thing you've ever had, and it's just wildly above that. Like your mouth goes numb, you just tear up. It's
That sounds like, why would you willingly?
yeah. And
Do that.
my fingers, because I like cut it, my fingers were stinging and tingling for like a whole day.
Wow.
The podcast.
And like you're in Ethiopia. And you're reading about like competitive eating.
This
That
guy
must
ate
be like
the
such
worst.
a
246 hot dogs in an hour.
Yeah. It's just, it's there's just something that feels wrong about it.
The podcast.
I couldn't help but think about when you were telling us about the world champion ghost pepper eater. I couldn't help but think about the stool.
Ooh.
The podcast.
The Queen is not Meghan's biggest fan, I would imagine. I mean, they did leave the royal family.
Yeah, but surely she's a fan of young Archie.
For sure. But he didn't do the reading. It was all about Meghan, remember?
I mean, it might not have been as much of the Meghan show if she'd worn clothes.
Yeah.
I think
You
you
mean
would have got
he-
more donations too.
Yeah, if she was really trying to raise money.
The podcast.
I think it should be expanded to like urinal selection as well. Would be a good. Why do you have to come stand next to me when there's 4 other empty urinals? You know.
Well, how else am I going to see your cock?
But then don't get mad if I look. If you're gonna come
Yeah.
stand next to me and I take a look, you can't get mad.